Alright, so that's how we use an array with a for loop, and that's the reason why we have arrays. Arrays are great because you can use for loops or while loops to index the array and put stuff in it very quickly. I've just put stuff in it very quickly. I can now change that to 10, and now I have a bunch of numbers, and I'll push that up a little bit to 10, and you can see I have a bunch of numbers going up to 10. So it's very good, and that's one of the reasons why arrays and for loops were designed. They were designed to work together, basically. Alright, so if you were to ask me what's in the memory location, let's go to say 3. Let's say I had like memory, right? And I had location and I had value of this memory, and this memory is temp, right? Well, in location 0, I will have 0 in it. In location 1, I would have 3 in it. In location 2, I'd have 6 in it. And since I'm going up to 3 at this point, I need to go one more. In location 3, I'd have 9 in it. So what's in location 4 for this one? Well, we never get to 4, so nothing's in location 4. So location 4 doesn't even exist, right? If I change that to 3 times 3 plus 1, well, I'll just add 1 to all of these ones. So this is what's inside it, or inside the array for this particular scenario. Alright, now let's go through the while loop. So the while loop is another choice we could use. While loop. We can use the while loop as well. And actually we can design the while loop so that it works exactly like this for loop, because ultimately they're both doing the same thing. They're repeating things. That's why we call it repetition, because they're two control structures that allows us to repeat stuff. So with the while loop, if you wanted to write an equivalent, you'll need to have a starting value just like this for loop. So we go var I equals 0. Now I can't use I don't think. I can't because I've already made it, so I'll just use j. So we need a starting value. Then we need some kind of condition check. While I less than or equal to 3. And then you do your thing, and we're going to do the same thing. But this time, change my fill color to blue so that we know that this is the while loop. Alright? And I can turn off the one that's the for loop. So we're doing the same thing here. Lastly, we need to do an increment, this I++, and we need to put that in the while loop. And remember, it's not I anymore for this while loop, it's j, so we just need to replace everything with j's, and you can already see it happening. And this is also j. And let's push this down a little bit more. There you go. Now let's do this one, but let's shift it over a little bit. And down a little bit. So you can see the red is the for loop and the blue is the while loop, and they're doing the exact same thing because I pretty much designed the while loop to do the exact same thing. Start at 0, end at 3, and add 1. This one, start at 0, keep doing until you reach 3, and then add 1. So that's pretty much the same. So you can write a for loop equivalent to a while loop, or a while loop equivalent to a for loop. Now while loops are pretty versatile. You don't have to have a start, and you could have a check while not in the file. So there's no kind of, you can have less control over it. Whereas the for loop, you really do have the control. You need the start, you need the end, you need an increment. All right, let's have a look at our time. We're going about 17 minutes, a little bit long, but I want to now go through the functions, and this is going to go over 20 minutes, unfortunately. Now, functions, pretty much you type var, give it the function a name. So let's say you want to do some kind of calculation, right? I don't know, random calculation. All right, and then you go equals and you type the word function, open close brackets. and open curly bracket, close curly bracket, semicolon. All right. So this calculation doesn't take anything in. I could just it doesn't have any arguments. What's arguments? It's inputs. There's no inputs there. I can give it an input. Let's give it A as an input, and then what I'll do is I'll double the A, 2 times A, and you notice here there's a return. What's happening is whatever I put in here, it will get doubled and then it will spit it out. Let me show you how to use it. Calculation, put in A. Let's put in 2, and what I'll do is I'll text out this calculation at 200, and what I'll do is I'll turn off everything else up the top, and you can see I chucked in 2 into here, and then the 2 gets propagated here, you multiply it, and then it gets spit out. This thing spits out 2 times 2. Now let me put 3 in, and you notice it's 6 there because I put 3 in, and then it times it by 2, and then it produces a 6 that gets returned to this thing. So this thing then spits out a 6. So this whole thing spits out a 6. I can put more than one input. I can put 2 inputs plus B, and then over here I can then put 4. So it doubles 3 and adds 4, which is a 10, right? So I don't have to do that. Also, I don't have to make it a function like that. I could just print this off. I can just print this off like that, and then all I need to do is just call the calculation, put 3, 4, and it will print it off. So you can see here I don't have to use a return. I can just print it straight off, but I still need to use it. So I've made it, but I still need to use it. So you still need to use it, right? You don't forget to use it. You write that won't work. You actually got to use it, else because it doesn't know what A and B is. So this one has 2 inputs, or 2 arguments. I can give it a 3rd argument. Let me give it a 3rd argument, comma C. I can give it length. I can give it, I can call these arguments anything I like. Width, I'm giving it a 4th argument. I don't even need to use these arguments. Notice length and width not even used. I don't even need to use it, but if I want, it's kind of weird. Why would you have arguments that you don't use? You don't. I'm just saying, you can name it anything you like. That's pretty much a function. That's its name. To use the function, you're going to put the name in, open brackets, and put in however many inputs you've allocated for that function. Now you design the functions yourself. These functions you design yourself, right? Functions like this is designed for you to take 1, 2, 3, and then 2 other optional arguments. So you only need 3 really. You don't need to put in the optional, right? So for this, because I've made it myself, I can put as many as I like. I can return something else. I can print something else and then return something else. It's weird, but I can do that. And you notice if I return A plus B, which is 7 here, right now I need to actually store it. At least I need to store it somewhere. Right? And then I could print it off. And you can see there, it prints off 2 things. I'll put that a little bit lower. So this is this one, 10, and this one is coming out of this calculation into this variable, and then I print off the variable, which is 7, 3 plus 4, right? So that's pretty much how you write a function. Just remember, you've got a var name equals function. Decide however many inputs you want in the curve brackets. Do some calculation and then return some kind of value, or not return. It's up to you. And then you'll need to use it. Now, if it's got a return value, you got to go equals some variable. If it's got no return value, you don't need that. You can just do this calculation and it'll just do whatever's in there. Lastly, you can put the calculation directly into there. So you don't have to use a variable and then print off the variable. You can just do this straight in there, as long as you've got a return type, or return, right? I think that's about it, really. Thank you for listening, and good luck with your cat.